Prince William and Princess Anne ride on horseback as he leads Trooping the Color parade. From an early hour, a quiet excitement had settled over the city, and people who had traveled from far and near were beginning to line the streets. Families, tourists, and locals alike stood shoulder to shoulder, some holding small Union Jack flags, others with cameras ready to capture every moment. There was a sense of anticipation in the air, a feeling that something special was about to happen. Children perched on their parents' shoulders, trying to catch a glimpse of the royal family, while older visitors whispered stories of previous ceremonies, recalling occasions when they had watched the royals ride gracefully across the parade ground. The city seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the moment when tradition and pageantry would come alive. Inside the royal stables, the preparation was just as busy but more focused and precise. Horses, polished and pampered, stood calmly, their coats gleaming under the morning light. Each animal had been carefully trained for months, learning the exact steps and commands they would need to follow during the parade. The sound of soft hooves against stone echoed through the stables as grooms carefully brushed and cleaned each horse, checking that the saddles and harnesses were fastened perfectly. Even the smallest detail mattered, because every movement would be seen by thousands of people, both in person and on screens around the world. Prince William arrived at the stables early that morning. Dressed in his ceremonial uniform, with its sharp lines and shining medals, he looked every bit the royal figure that generations had admired. Yet there was a calmness about him, a quiet focus that suggested he understood both the responsibility and the honor of the day. As he approached his horse, he ran his hand gently over its neck, speaking softly, as if reassuring the animal that everything would go smoothly. It was a moment that revealed a side of the prince that the public rarely saw, a combination of authority, care, and genuine connection with the animals he rode. Not far away, Princess Anne was preparing in her own way. Known for her skill in equestrian events, she moved with an ease and confidence that spoke of years spent on horseback. Her own horse, equally well-groomed and disciplined, responded to her voice and gestures with quiet obedience. She checked her riding boots, adjusted the reins, and glanced briefly at the parade schedule. Even in a moment that could have been stressful, she radiated calmness and composure. Observers who had watched her over the years knew that she was a master of combining grace with control, and today would be no exception. Outside the stables, the streets began to fill with the sounds of the parade coming together. The brass of the military bands echoed off the buildings, their practice notes floating through the air. Soldiers adjusted their uniforms, polished their boots, and checked their swords, standing in formation as trainers and aides ensured that every movement would be perfectly timed. There was a rhythm to it all, a careful choreography that had been practiced countless times but would still be performed live, before thousands of eyes. Every detail mattered, from the position of a horse's hoof to the angle of a flag in the breeze. It was a dance of tradition, precision, and pageantry. As the crowd outside grew larger, there was a sense of shared excitement. Strangers smiled at each other, talking about the weather, the horses, or the royal family. Street vendors called out, selling flags, snacks, and souvenirs, adding to the lively atmosphere. Children waved their tiny flags with enthusiasm, some jumping up and down in excitement, while adults pointed out where the royal family would enter the parade ground. Everyone, regardless of age or background, seemed to be connected by this moment, waiting together for the ceremony to begin. Back in the stables, Prince William mounted his horse with practiced ease. The polished leather of the saddle gleamed in the morning light, and the sound of the horse's hooves against the stone echoed in the quiet of the royal stables. He sat upright, his posture straight and commanding, yet relaxed. There was a sense of quiet confidence about him, the kind that comes from experience and preparation. He guided the horse gently, testing its responsiveness with small movements, making sure that it was ready for the ceremony. Princess Anne followed shortly after, her own horse responding to her familiar commands. The pair moved together through the stables, their horses, steps in rhythm with one another. There was an unspoken understanding between them, a recognition of each other's skills and dedication. While the ceremony was a public event, moments like this revealed a more personal side of the royals, showing their connection to the animals, the tradition, and to each other. As the time for the ceremony approached, the route from the stables to the parade ground was carefully coordinated. A team of aides and trainers led the horses out, guiding them along a path lined with cheering spectators. The sight of the royals on horseback drew gasps of admiration and applause from the crowd. Cameras clicked and flashes lit up the scene, but Prince William and Princess Anne remained focused, leading their horses with steady hands and calm expressions. It was a scene that combined history, tradition, and the simple beauty of humans and animals moving together with purpose. On the parade ground, soldiers, bands, and officials prepared for the official start. Flags were raised, drums were tuned, and the intricate formations were checked one last time. The sound of hooves striking the ground, the brassy notes of instruments, and the murmurs of the excited crowd blended into a unique atmosphere, one that could only be experienced in person. For Prince William and Princess Anne, it was the culmination of months of preparation, yet there was still a sense of thrill and responsibility. Every eye would be on them, and every movement counted. In these final moments before the ceremony, the energy in the air was electric. Spectators whispered excitedly, children waved their flags, and the royal horses pranced with anticipation. Prince William looked around briefly, taking in the sight of the crowd and the parade ground, and then focused forward, ready to lead. Princess Anne followed his lead, her expression composed but alert. The stage was set, the participants were ready, and the historic Trooping the Color parade was about to begin, a display of tradition, discipline, and grace that had been celebrated for generations and would now be witnessed anew. The moment the ceremony began, a hush fell over. The crowd, replaced shortly by the rhythmic sound of marching boots and the blare of brass instruments. The military bands, polished to perfection, moved in precise formation, their uniforms gleaming in the sunlight. Each note of the music carried centuries of tradition, filling the air with energy and solemnity at the same time. The drums echoed like a heartbeat, steady and strong, while the trumpets announced the arrival of the royal party. It was a sound that resonated deeply, both with the soldiers who had practiced tirelessly and with the onlookers who had gathered to witness the spectacle. Prince William led the parade, mounted on his powerful horse, his posture straight and commanding. Every movement he made was deliberate, each command to the horse subtle but effective. He guided the animal through the intricate patterns of the parade ground, moving with a rhythm that matched the music. The crowd's excitement grew as they watched him, and many whispered to each other about how poised and confident he appeared. There was a sense of awe, not just for the ceremony itself, but for the skill and discipline it required. It was clear that years of preparation and dedication had brought him to this moment. Princess Anne followed closely behind, her horse moving with perfect timing beside the prince. Her experience in equestrian events was evident in every step. She guided her horse with a gentle hand and a quiet command, her movements graceful and effortless. There was a calm confidence about her that seemed to reassure everyone around her, the soldiers, the other riders, and even the horses themselves. She had performed in countless ceremonies before, yet there was always something new in the way the light caught the horse's coat, the crowd's cheer, or the crispness of the morning air. As the parade unfolded, the crowd could see the intricate coordination required to keep everything in order. Soldiers marched in perfect lines, holding flags and swords with exact precision. The bands played in harmony, their movements synchronized down to the smallest detail. Horses responded to their riders with trained obedience, stepping carefully over the parade ground without missing a beat. It was a display of discipline and skill, one that had been perfected over generations. The audience marveled at the beauty and order of it all, realizing how much effort went into creating what seemed so effortless. Every so often, Prince William would glance at Princess Anne, a subtle nod or a small smile passing between them. These tiny gestures revealed the connection they shared, not only as members of the royal family, but as individuals who understood the responsibility of representing tradition. They moved in harmony, each aware of the other's position and actions, ensuring that the parade flowed smoothly. Their silent communication was a testament to their training, experience, and mutual respect. Even among the precision of the ceremony, these moments added a human touch, reminding the audience that behind the uniforms and medals were real people performing with pride and care. The crowd's cheers grew louder as the royals and the parade participants reached the central area of the grounds. Children waved their flags enthusiastically, while photographers jostled for the best angle to capture the historic moment. Some onlookers clapped, others raised their hands in salute, and a few simply stood in awe, watching the pageantry unfold. The energy of the audience seemed to feed into the performance, giving the soldiers and riders an extra boost of confidence. For those watching, it was more than a ceremony. It was a shared experience, a moment of connection between the royals and the people. Amid the music and movement, small details caught the eye. The sunlight glinted off the medals on Prince William's uniform, highlighting his accomplishments and responsibilities. Princess Anne's carefully arranged hair and tailored attire reflected her dedication to presenting herself with dignity. The horses' manets were perfectly braided, their hooves polished and clean, each step echoing against the parade ground. Every element, from the smallest detail to the grandest gesture, worked together to create a scene of harmony and elegance. It was a visual story of history, service, and pride, told through movement, music, and presence. As the parade continued, challenges appeared, though few were noticeable to the untrained eye. Some horses became slightly nervous at the noise, reacting to the blare of trumpets or the sudden movements of the soldiers nearby. Prince William's calm voice and firm control guided his horse through these moments, ensuring that it stayed on track and kept the formation intact. Princess Anne, with her expertise, subtly adjusted her horse's pace and direction, keeping it focused and steady. These small interventions, though quiet and almost invisible, were essential to maintaining the smooth flow of the ceremony. It was a reminder that even in moments of perfection, skill and attention were always at work behind the scenes. The formation moved in a series of precise maneuvers, each more complex than the last. Soldiers changed positions with military precision, flags waved in perfect rhythm, and the horses responded to each subtle command from their riders. The crowd watched in awe, unable to look away as the pageantry unfolded like a carefully choreographed dance. The coordination between human and animal, between music and movement, was mesmerizing. For many, it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, a rare glimpse of tradition and discipline executed with such perfection. Throughout the parade, Prince William and Princess Anne displayed remarkable composure. Despite the heat of the morning sun and the immense responsibility resting on their shoulders, they remained focused and poised. Their horses moved smoothly beneath them, reflecting their skill and training. Observers often commented on how natural they looked in their roles, as if leading a parade of this scale were second nature. Yet behind that ease was years of preparation, practice, and dedication, all coming together in a flawless public display. As the ceremony reached its peak, the music swelled, the soldiers' movements became even more precise, and the crowd's applause reached a crescendo. Prince William led with confidence, guiding his horse through the final steps of the formation. Princess Anne followed, her horse moving effortlessly beside him. The two of them became the focal point of the entire parade, embodying both the tradition and the elegance of the royal family. Every eye was drawn to them, every camera lens focused on their movements, and every cheer from the audience seemed directed at their skill and grace. Even as the ceremony proceeded with such grandeur, small moments of humanity shone through. Prince William occasionally offered a reassuring pat to his horse, speaking softly to maintain its calm. Princess Anne, with her sharp eye, adjusted her posture or the reins as needed, ensuring that her horse remained steady. These gestures, though subtle, reminded everyone that behind the ceremony's pageantry were living beings, both human and animal, working together in harmony. It was a delicate balance of control, respect, and care, executed in public view for all to admire. As the parade began to wind down, the sense of pride and accomplishment was evident on everyone's faces. The soldiers marched with unwavering discipline, the bands played with precision, and the horses responded to each command with grace. Prince William and Princess Anne guided their horses through the final movements, their expressions calm but satisfied. The crowd's applause grew louder, filling the streets with cheers and appreciation. It was a moment of triumph, not just for the royals, but for every participant who had contributed to the success of the day. When the ceremony concluded, Prince William and Princess Anne rode toward the edge of the parade ground, acknowledging the crowd with polite nods and waves. Their horses moved steadily, carrying them with dignity and poise. The audience responded with sustained applause, some waving flags, others capturing the final moments on their cameras. It was a display of connection, respect, and celebration, highlighting the bond between the royal family and the people they served. The Trooping the Color parade was more than a ceremony. It was a testament to tradition, discipline, and the harmony between humans and animals. For Prince William and Princess Anne, it was a moment to demonstrate skill, poise, and dedication in the public eye. For the audience, it was an unforgettable experience, a day of celebration, admiration, and pride. The memory of seeing the royals ride gracefully across the parade ground, leading soldiers, bands, and horses in perfect coordination, would remain long after the final notes of the music faded into the London sky. As the parade unfolded further, subtle moments of connection became visible to those paying close attention. Amid the strict formations of soldiers and musicians, and the disciplined movements of horses and riders, there were brief but meaningful gestures that hinted at the personal bond shared between Prince William and Princess Anne. While the world often saw them as members of the royal family performing their ceremonial duties, these small interactions revealed a more human side, a layer of emotion and understanding beneath the polished exterior of tradition. Prince William occasionally glanced at Princess Anne as they guided their horses across the parade ground. A small nod, a shared smile, or a subtle adjustment in position conveyed reassurance, encouragement, and mutual respect. These gestures, though brief, were powerful. They spoke to years of experience, shared responsibilities, and a deep understanding of what it took to perform flawlessly in such a public setting. Observers who noticed these moments found them endearing, a reminder that even in the most formal situations, human connection remains vital. Princess Anne, with her remarkable equestrian skills, often responded to the prince's silent cues. Her movements were fluid and precise, a reflection of her training and years of experience in both ceremonial events and competitive riding. Her horse moved in perfect harmony with Prince William's, the two animals almost mirroring each other's steps, guided by the quiet communication between their riders. The synchronization between them was impressive, demonstrating not only mastery over their horses, but also an unspoken understanding of each other's rhythms and intentions. The crowd, too, began to notice the subtle elegance of this interaction. While many eyes were drawn to the grandeur of the ceremony, the marching soldiers, the waving flags, and the booming music, some spectators found themselves captivated by the quiet sophistication of the royal siblings riding side by side. There was an unspoken story in the way they moved together, a testament to the balance between duty and personal connection. Families watching the parade whispered to each other about how natural and confident they appeared, and some children tried to mimic their gestures in excitement. As the ceremony progressed, it became evident that moments of connection were not limited to gestures between the royals. The horses themselves seemed attuned to the presence of both riders, moving with a calm obedience that reflected the careful training and care they had received. Prince William's horse responded instantly to subtle shifts in weight or gentle commands, maintaining its pace even in the face of loud music and cheering crowds. Princess Anne's mount was equally responsive, matching its movements with precision and grace. The relationship between rider and horse added another layer of complexity to the parade, highlighting the skill and patience required to maintain harmony in such a dynamic environment. Behind the scenes, aides and trainers watched attentively, ready to step in if necessary, but mostly allowing the royals to guide their horses with confidence. It was a testament to the trust placed in Prince William and Princess Anne, as well as their ability to manage both ceremonial responsibilities and living, breathing animals simultaneously. Observers later remarked that the ease with which they performed these tasks made it appear effortless, though in reality, it required immense focus, experience, and coordination. Even as the ceremony maintained its formal structure, small moments of personality and humanity shone through. At one point, Prince William gently patted his horse's neck, a gesture of reassurance that communicated both authority and care. Princess Anne, noticing a slight hesitation from her mount, quietly adjusted the reins and spoke softly, calming the animal without disrupting the flow of the parade. These subtle actions demonstrated that behind the polished uniforms and strict formations were individuals capable of compassion, patience, and understanding, a reminder that ceremony and humanity could coexist beautifully. The music played on, each note carefully timed to the movements of the soldiers, the bands, and the horses. The steady rhythm of drums and the bright tones of trumpets created a soundtrack that guided every action. Yet within this structured environment, Prince William and Princess Anne managed to maintain their own sense of rhythm and presence. Their calm composure contrasted with the bustling energy of the crowd, creating a visual and emotional anchor amid the excitement. Observers often commented that it was this poise that made the parade not only impressive but deeply engaging. As the morning wore on, the sheer scale of the parade became more apparent. Hundreds of soldiers marched in precise formations, carrying flags that fluttered in the light breeze. Bands played in perfect synchronization, their movements coordinated to create an almost choreographed performance. Horses moved carefully through the formations, responding instantly to the rider's subtle commands. Within this complex choreography, Prince William and Princess Anne maintained a constant focus, guiding their mounts with both authority and care. Their presence ensured that the ceremony flowed seamlessly, each step executed with elegance and precision. The audience, meanwhile, remained fully engaged. Many spectators had traveled long distances to witness the Trooping the Color parade, and their attention was rewarded with a performance that combined discipline, tradition, and moments of human warmth. Some leaned forward eagerly, hoping to catch every detail of the royal siblings' movements, while others stood back to appreciate the broader spectacle of color, music, and motion. Cameras clicked and phones recorded the event, capturing both the grandeur of the parade and the subtle interactions that added depth to the experience. At certain points, Prince William and Princess Anne would exchange a brief glance, an acknowledgement of the challenges they faced and the success of their efforts. These moments, though fleeting, were filled with meaning. They were reminders that even in a highly structured environment, personal connections mattered and trust between individuals, especially in leadership roles, was essential. Observers could sense that the two shared not only familial bonds, but also a profound respect for each other's abilities, a partnership that strengthened the overall performance. The intricacy of the parade required constant attention to detail. Every movement, from the soldiers' precise steps to the horses' coordinated strides, needed to be executed flawlessly. Prince William's focus never wavered, his eyes scanning the ground ahead while simultaneously monitoring the horse's responsiveness. Princess Anne mirrored this vigilance, ensuring that her mount remained calm and attentive. Together, they navigated the complex environment with skill and confidence, demonstrating the perfect balance of control, awareness, and adaptability. Throughout the parade, the audience's admiration grew. They appreciated not only the spectacle of the event, but also the subtle elegance with which it was executed. Parents explained the significance of the ceremony to their children, pointing out the careful coordination, the historical uniforms, and the disciplined formations. Photographers tried to capture both the grandeur of the parade and the intimate moments shared between Prince William and Princess Anne. For those watching, it became clear that the parade was more than just a display of tradition. It was a living story of dedication, skill, and human connection. Even minor challenges were met with calm expertise. Occasionally, a horse might hesitate or adjust its steps unexpectedly, but both royals responded instantly, guiding their mounts without disrupting the flow of the parade. These small corrections, though hardly noticeable to the casual observer, were critical in maintaining the smooth progression of the ceremony. Prince William's quiet authority and Princess Anne's refined skill ensured that every moment remained controlled, graceful, and safe. Their ability to manage such situations under public scrutiny highlighted both their competence and their dedication to the traditions they represented. As the parade continued, Prince William and Princess Anne's subtle interactions became more apparent. A slight nod, a brief eye contact, or a small shift in posture communicated reassurance and coordination. These gestures, though not part of the official ceremony, were crucial for maintaining harmony. Observers who noticed these details often remarked on the sense of unity and mutual understanding displayed by the two royals. It was a rare glimpse into the human side of tradition, a reminder that behind the pageantry were individuals with experience, care, and respect for one another. The morning sun cast a warm glow over the parade ground, illuminating the colors of the flags, the polished uniforms, and the shining coats of the horses. Prince William and Princess Anne rode with unwavering composure, their presence commanding attention, yet blending seamlessly with the broader spectacle. Every step of their horses, every glance exchanged, and every gesture of reassurance contributed to the overall elegance of the event. It was a delicate balance of precision, grace, and connection that left a lasting impression on all who were fortunate enough to witness it. As the parade moved toward its conclusion, the audience's excitement grew. Cheers became louder, applause more sustained, and the waving of flags more enthusiastic. Prince William and Princess Anne guided their horses through the final movements with calm confidence, maintaining the dignity and elegance that had defined the ceremony from the start. Observers could see the satisfaction in their expressions, a quiet acknowledgement of a job well done, of a tradition upheld with skill and care. By the time the parade reached its final formations, it was clear that the combination of tradition, discipline, and human connection had created a truly memorable event. Prince William and Princess Anne had led with both authority and warmth, demonstrating their ability to balance ceremonial duty with personal presence. The audience's applause, cheers, and admiration were a testament to the success of the parade and the elegance with which it had been executed. As the Trooping the Color ceremony continued, the scale and precision of the parade became more apparent. The rhythmic sound of hooves striking the parade ground, the crisp marching of soldiers, and the harmonious music of the bands created a powerful and mesmerizing atmosphere. Every movement was carefully timed, yet within this grand spectacle, Prince William and Princess Anne demonstrated an extraordinary ability to respond to unexpected challenges with calm and confidence. Their experience and training allowed them to navigate the complexities of the parade with poise, even when small surprises arose. Even the most disciplined horses can sometimes react unpredictably, and the parade was no exception. Occasionally, the sudden sounds of drums or the bright flashes of cameras startled a horse, causing it to pause or shift its steps. On such occasions, Prince William's calm voice and subtle commands guided his mount back into rhythm, restoring order seamlessly. He moved with quiet authority, ensuring that both his horse and the surrounding formations remained stable. His gestures were precise yet gentle, reflecting the balance of control and care that had become a hallmark of his riding style. Princess Anne, too, showcased her remarkable horsemanship. When her horse adjusted its steps or sensed tension in the surrounding environment, she responded instantly, using subtle shifts in posture and gentle rein movements to guide it with ease. Her attention to detail was evident in every maneuver, from adjusting the horse's stride to keeping it aligned perfectly with Prince William's mount. The combination of their skills ensured that the parade continued without interruption, maintaining the elegance and discipline that the audience had come to expect. The crowd, meanwhile, remained captivated by the unfolding spectacle. Thousands of spectators lined the streets, their eyes following every movement of the royals and the parade participants. Children waved flags energetically, and adults raised cameras and phones to capture the historic event. The applause and cheers echoed across the parade ground, blending with the music and the rhythm of marching boots. For the audience, it was not only the visual display that was impressive, but also the way Prince William and Princess Anne handled their horses with skill and composure, amidst the excitement and occasional unpredictability. The precision of the parade required constant attention to detail. Soldiers marched in perfect alignment, flags were held at exact angles, and the musicians maintained flawless synchronization. Prince William and Princess Anne navigated this environment with remarkable focus, ensuring that their horses matched the pace and rhythm of the formations. Their calm and steady presence provided a sense of stability, allowing the entire parade to flow smoothly despite the complexity and scale of the event. Observers could see that the success of the ceremony depended not only on practice and preparation, but also on the ability to remain composed under pressure. Amid the grandeur of the parade, small interactions and moments of skill were particularly striking. Prince William occasionally glanced at Princess Anne, a subtle acknowledgement of the teamwork required to lead the parade successfully. Their silent communication demonstrated mutual respect and understanding, allowing them to respond to minor adjustments without drawing attention away from the ceremony. These gestures, though almost invisible to the casual observer, were crucial in maintaining the harmony of the event. It was a reminder that behind the spectacle of tradition and pageantry, personal connection and experience played a vital role. The horses themselves were central to the success of the parade, and their training was evident in every step. Each animal responded to subtle cues from its rider, maintaining balance and composure even amid loud music, shouting crowds and flashing cameras. Prince William's horse remained steady and confident, following his guidance with precision, while Princess Anne's mount mirrored his movements with perfect timing. The harmony between rider and horse was impressive, demonstrating the careful preparation and deep understanding that had gone into training for this historic event. At certain points, small challenges tested the royals' skill and focus. A gust of wind caused a flag to sway unexpectedly, momentarily distracting some soldiers. A camera flash caught a horse's attention, causing a slight hesitation in its steps. Prince William and Princess Anne responded instantly, adjusting the horses, movements, and posture with subtle precision. These moments, though brief, highlighted their ability to manage unpredictable elements while maintaining the overall flow and grace of the parade. Observers who noticed these adjustments often remarked on the quiet mastery displayed by the two royals, a combination of training, experience, and calm confidence. The audience, engrossed in the ceremony, could see the discipline and teamwork that went into every aspect of the parade. Soldiers, musicians, and riders moved in perfect harmony, creating a dynamic and visually stunning display. Prince William and Princess Anne were at the center of this coordination, guiding their horses with skill and composure while maintaining awareness of the surrounding formations. Their presence reassured the participants and the audience alike, demonstrating that leadership, experience, and careful attention were essential to the success of such a large-scale event. As the ceremony progressed, the importance of subtle communication became increasingly evident. Prince William and Princess Anne relied on small gestures, eye contact, and slight shifts in posture to convey instructions and reassurance. These silent cues allowed them to navigate the complex parade environment smoothly, maintaining both the discipline of the formations and the composure of their horses. The effectiveness of this communication reflected years of experience in ceremonial events, equestrian training, and public appearances, highlighting the depth of their preparation and understanding. The parade also highlighted the balance between tradition and adaptability. While every movement, note, and step was carefully planned, the royals had to respond to real-time circumstances, including environmental factors and the behavior of the horses. Prince William and Princess Anne demonstrated remarkable flexibility, adjusting their actions without disrupting the flow of the ceremony. Their ability to adapt while maintaining precision emphasized the professionalism and skill required to perform successfully in such a high-profile public setting. Throughout the event, the audience remained deeply engaged. Many spectators had traveled long distances to witness the trooping the color, and their attention was rewarded with a performance that combined discipline, elegance, and subtle displays of skill. Children waved flags enthusiastically, families pointed out specific aspects of the parade, and photographers worked to capture the perfect shots of both the grand spectacle and the personal interactions between Prince William and Princess Anne. The combination of tradition, human connection, and equestrian mastery created a memorable experience for everyone present. As the parade neared its conclusion, the challenges of the morning had been met with poise and success. Prince William and Princess Anne had guided their horses through every obstacle, from startled animals to sudden movements in the crowd, ensuring that the ceremony proceeded flawlessly. Their calm demeanor and expert horsemanship inspired confidence not only in the soldiers and bands but also in the audience, who witnessed a display of tradition executed with skill and care. The final movements of the parade required precise coordination and timing. Prince William led his horse through the closing formations, maintaining a composed and authoritative presence. Princess Anne followed, her mount moving effortlessly beside him, mirroring his steps with elegance. The two royals demonstrated that leadership, teamwork, and experience were essential for guiding such a large and complex event. Observers were struck by the seamless coordination, the beauty of the formations, and the subtle interactions that added depth and humanity to the spectacle. When the parade finally concluded, the audience erupted in applause, cheering loudly for the skill, poise and dedication of everyone involved. Prince William and Princess Anne rode toward the edge of the parade ground, acknowledging the crowd with polite waves and nods. Their horses moved steadily and gracefully, reflecting the calm confidence of their riders. Spectators continued to cheer, waving flags and capturing photographs, while the bands played a final triumphant note. It was a moment of shared celebration, recognizing both the discipline of the parade and the elegance of its leaders. The success of the ceremony was a testament to the careful preparation, skill, and dedication of Prince William, Princess Anne, and all participants. Their ability to navigate challenges, maintain composure, and coordinate with precision had ensured a flawless performance. Behind the grandeur of the parade lay countless hours of practice, meticulous planning, and the quiet mastery of both human and equine participants. For the audience, the result was a spectacle that was not only visually stunning but also emotionally engaging, leaving a lasting impression of grace, tradition, and teamwork. Even after the applause had faded, the memory of the day lingered. Observers spoke of the elegance and skill displayed by Prince William and Princess Anne, noting the subtle interactions, the calm authority, and the harmony with their horses. Families recounted the excitement of seeing the royals up close, while children eagerly discussed the parade with wide-eyed wonder. The Trooping the Color had once again proven to be more than a ceremonial event. It was a living demonstration of discipline, connection, and human and animal collaboration. As the Trooping the Color parade reached its final moments, a sense of accomplishment and pride filled the parade ground. Prince William and Princess Anne rode steadily, their horses moving with elegance and control, reflecting the calm confidence of their riders. The audience erupted into applause, the sound echoing across the streets and bouncing off the surrounding buildings. Children waved their Union Jack flags enthusiastically, parents clapped with admiration, and tourists tried to capture every detail of this historic event on camera. The atmosphere was electric, yet beneath the excitement, there was a profound sense of respect for the tradition and discipline on display. For Prince William and Princess Anne, the final stage of the parade was not just about ceremony, it was also a moment of reflection. Months of preparation, training, and careful coordination had led to this day. Every drill, every practice ride, and every moment spent working with their horses, and the parade participants culminated in this spectacular display. As they guided their horses through the closing formations, their expressions revealed satisfaction, a quiet pride in the successful execution of such a complex event. Their calm composure inspired confidence in the soldiers, musicians, and other participants, ensuring that the ceremony concluded without a single misstep. The horses themselves, central to the success of the parade, demonstrated remarkable discipline. Prince William's mount remained steady and composed, responding to subtle cues with precision, while Princess Anne's horse mirrored his movements gracefully. The synchronization between rider and horse was mesmerizing, a testament to the trust, care, and training invested over many months. Observers could not help but notice how perfectly the animals moved, each step executed with poise, reflecting the expertise of their riders. The bond between the royals and their horses added a deeper dimension to the spectacle, highlighting the harmony between human and animal in such a demanding and public setting. Throughout the parade, subtle gestures and interactions had conveyed a human element often missing from grand ceremonies. Prince William occasionally glanced at Princess Anne, sharing a small nod or smile, communicating reassurance and mutual respect. These moments, though fleeting, were a reminder that behind the polished uniforms and meticulously practiced routines were real people with a deep sense of responsibility and connection. The audience, many of whom had followed the parade with rapt attention, could sense this human side, making the event even more relatable and memorable. As the final formations concluded, the royals guided their horses toward the edge of the parade ground. Their movements were smooth, controlled, and elegant, reflecting the culmination of their efforts and preparation. Prince William raised a hand in acknowledgement of the cheering crowd, a gesture of appreciation and connection. Princess Anne mirrored the gesture, her expression composed yet warm, acknowledging the admiration and support of thousands of spectators. The sight of the two royals, riding side by side with dignity and poise, captured the essence of the parade, a blend of tradition, skill, and personal presence. Behind the scenes, aides and coordinators ensured that every aspect of the conclusion went smoothly. Horses were led back to the stables, soldiers returned to their barracks, and bands concluded their final notes with precision. Yet even as the organizational details were handled, the focus remained on the royals and the impact of their performance. Prince William and Princess Anne's leadership had not only maintained the integrity of the ceremony, but had also enhanced the experience for everyone involved. Their calm authority, expertise, and grace had left an indelible impression on the audience, making the event feel both historic and deeply personal. The applause from the crowd continued as the royals dismounted from their horses. Prince William offered a final nod, acknowledging both the participants and the spectators who had come to witness the event. Princess Anne, steady and composed, gently patted her horse, a gesture of gratitude and care. These actions highlighted the connection between rider and animal, a subtle but essential aspect of the parade that reinforced the importance of respect, trust, and partnership in every movement. Observers could see that the royals' attention to detail extended beyond ceremony to the well-being of the horses, underscoring their dedication and responsibility. The atmosphere remained celebratory as families and onlookers reflected on what they had witnessed. Children excitedly recounted the movements of the horses and the waving of the flags, while adults discussed the precision of the soldiers and the elegance of the royal siblings. Photographers reviewed their shots, capturing both the grandeur of the parade and the subtle, human moments that made the event special. The combination of spectacle and personal connection ensured that the Trooping the Color was not merely a ceremonial display, but a memorable experience for everyone present. Prince William and Princess Anne then moved through the final stages of the parade with grace and confidence. The royals' poise and leadership were evident not only in their riding, but also in their interaction with the soldiers and other participants. They offered quiet encouragement and acknowledgement, reinforcing the sense of teamwork and mutual respect that had carried the parade through its challenges. Their ability to balance authority with empathy made them effective leaders in this ceremonial context, guiding not only the horses but the entire parade with skill and assurance. As the ceremony concluded fully, the significance of the day became clear. The Trooping the Color was not merely a display of tradition. It was a living demonstration of discipline, coordination, and human and animal collaboration. Prince William and Princess Anne exemplified these qualities, demonstrating the value of preparation, patience, and mutual understanding. Their presence added depth and meaning to the event, showing that even in formal ceremonies, warmth, connection, and care could coexist with precision and elegance. The audience slowly began to disperse, but the excitement lingered. Families left with stories to tell and memories to cherish. Children held their flags tightly, and photographers carried images that would capture the moment for years to come. The impact of the parade extended beyond the parade ground, resonating in conversations, social media posts, and personal recollections. Prince William and Princess Anne had led not only a ceremony but an experience that connected history, tradition, and human emotion in a meaningful and memorable way. Behind the scenes, the parade organizers reflected on the success of the event. Every element from the soldiers, formations to the horses, movements, and the royal presence, had come together perfectly. Prince William and Princess Anne's leadership had been central to this success, ensuring that the ceremony maintained both its historical integrity and its public appeal. Observers commented on the seamless flow, the attention to detail, and the grace with which the royals managed every aspect of the parade, even under public scrutiny. As the day came to a close, the royals returned to their private quarters, the horses carefully guided back to their stables. Prince William and Princess Anne took a moment to reflect on the success of the parade, acknowledging the efforts of all participants, from soldiers to musicians to aides and coordinators. The sense of accomplishment was quiet but profound, a recognition of teamwork, dedication, and the fulfillment of a centuries-old tradition. It was a day that celebrated not only ceremonial skill, but also connection, preparation, and the human capacity for grace under pressure. The Trooping the Color parade ended as a memorable and inspiring event, leaving both participants and spectators with lasting impressions. Prince William and Princess Anne's skill, composure, and quiet leadership had made the ceremony exceptional, highlighting the balance of tradition, responsibility, and personal presence. The audience departed with admiration and excitement, carrying the memory of witnessing two royals leading their horses with elegance, guiding soldiers with precision, and connecting with the crowd in subtle but meaningful ways. Even after the parade concluded, the story of the day lived on in conversations, photographs, and news reports. Families reminisced about the horses, movements, and the waving flags, while enthusiasts discussed the subtle interactions between Prince William and Princess Anne. The day had been a triumph not only of ceremony, but also of human and animal partnership, leadership, and skill. It was a reminder that tradition could be both grand and personal, a living experience shaped by those who performed it with dedication and care. In the end, the Trooping the Color parade was a celebration of history, discipline, and human connection. Prince William and Princess Anne had led with grace, skill, and quiet confidence, creating a memorable experience for thousands of spectators. Their careful preparation, mutual respect, and attention to detail ensured that the ceremony flowed seamlessly, even when small challenges arose. The combination of poise, experience, and empathy made the parade not only a public spectacle, but a story of teamwork, dedication, and tradition brought to life. As the day concluded, and London streets gradually returned to their usual pace, the impact of the parade lingered in the hearts and minds of those who had witnessed it. Prince William and Princess Anne had demonstrated that even in formal, centuries-old ceremonies, leadership, skill, and personal connection could shine brightly. Their performance reminded everyone present that tradition was not just about uniforms, flags, and formations. It was about people, animals, and the bonds that make such events meaningful and memorable.